Okay, now we're going to move on to talking about set design in Wes Anderson's film, The Royal Tenenbaums. Set design is often this place where Wes Anderson really kind of shows off, right? That his kind of maniacal attention that he pays to details really shines when thinking about his designing of sets, his use of sets. We know, if you know anything about Wes Anderson, the director, you'll know that as a child, he staged plays a lot, just like in the film Rushmore, just like in this film, Margot being the playwright. This is something that he did as a kid. And that set design is always sort of a symbol, a visual symbol of his obsession with his past, the nostalgia for the past in general. Okay. Now, what is fantastically sophisticated about set design in Wes Anderson's films is not only do they convey or visually express this thematic element, in other words, the theme of nostalgia, but they also can be used to convey important elements, mood, tone, fine. But character, that's where it's done very smartly, okay? Where the setting becomes a kind of extension of the character. Set design becomes another avenue in which to better understand the main character, okay? So I'll show you a few images. I'm going to go through this one probably pretty quickly. But let's look at a few stills from the film, okay? So here we have, Chaz in his element, Chaz and his setting, okay? I wonder if that's, God, I can't remember anyone's names right now, but I wonder if that's Ben Stiller's wife. I don't remember what her name is, and I think she might be the ex-wife now. But doesn't it kind of look like her, you guys? For those of you who know who Ben Stiller's wife used to be, I wonder if that's his wife doing a cameo appearance. It looks a lot like her, or I guess ex-wife, right? But anyway, we have Chaz seated here and trapped in his office, right? Chaz like wanting to escape reality, wanting to escape all of his traumas. He always escapes through work. Here we have the office setting, the phone and the third phone and the fourth phone, right? These multiple telephones, these three telephones as being an extension of character, right? The three telephones could be, the three stages of Chaz when Chaz regresses in childhood. It could also be the two phones are his children, and the third phone is himself, right? Here we have, Richie, who is on this ship coming back to the United States, coming back to the family. This is a great metaphor of, Richie is lost at sea, right? He's crossed this boundary that cannot be crossed, the boundary of incest, right? It might not be technically incest because Margot is the adopted daughter, right? Royal always goes to great lengths to explain that she's adopted. So it may not be biological incest, but I mean, that's his sister. He's grown up with him and he's in love with her. This kind of forbidden love, this boundary that cannot be crossed. Here we have in this image, the image is foreshadowing this, that he's crossed this boundary. He's lost at sea. Okay, Margot is drowning in her life. Where do we see Margot in this image? In a bathtub. Right? Isn't it so smart, you guys? Like it's so good. We just sort of go past the scene. We wouldn't really think anything of the setting of this scene, but the setting is telling us what we need to know, that here she is drowning. She's living her life in a bathtub, okay? The set conveying what is happening in the interior landscape of Margot's mind, right? You know how difficult that is to do, to externalize what is happening internally, right? He's doing it through the use of set design, okay? Sometimes the set design can convey feelings for the characters. So this is an image that I've already showed to talk about three-dimensional design, but here we see that, Royal is trapped in the window. Pagoda is sort of in this secret, he's in the closet, he's in this secret space, right? Because he has a secret, he knows about Ethel's engagement, he's telling Royal. Chaz here is the set design here and the use of framing is setting him apart from everyone else, which is sort of how Chaz operates. He's sort of against the world. He's separate from everyone else, but at least he has Ethel. At least he has his mother. She's in this separate space with him. Sometimes in thinking about set design, directors can make a choice between, shooting on location or creating a set. Here, this is a choice on the part of the filmmaker to actually shoot on set. And it's this wonderful decision because, we see the real world, but Ethel and Royal are in their own secret world, right? So it's the real world, but it's this secret place. It's this beautiful place, this beautiful pond that seems to exist only for Ethel and only for Royal in this one moment in their lives where they almost come together, but of course they won't. She'll go on to marry another man. They'll end up getting a divorce, but just for this moment, they're connected here, right? Obviously, the set design can be used to display nostalgia. Here we have this very kind of dated look, these dated buildings, okay? In case you guys can can hear slight snoring in the background, I'm so sorry. My husband is sick and I have to record these lectures. So if you hear snoring in the background, it's because my poor husband who's sick is in the room with me as I'm recording these lectures, okay? That's how boring my lecture is, that my husband can sleep through it. So here we have this kind of set design conveying nostalgia, right? Look at this really dated kind of architectural element, this faded pink flag that has I guess it's supposed to be the family's crest. It's just the letter T, right, for the Tenenbaums. This kind of dated looking image. Another moment of set design for nostalgia. Here we have this kind of, diorama sort of come to life that, here is the play that's being staged. It's something from the past that's expressed through the set design. Here we have Margot. Margot in the film is sort of very reminiscent of the little girl Eloise, right? Eloise, who's a character in a series of children's books. Eloise is the little girl who lives all alone at the plaza, and she's always all alone in this beautiful hotel world. And here we see Margot very much, like Eloise, all alone in the world, right? All alone, seeking the refuge of her past, that looks like children's books, right? Like, the mixed up files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler or Eloise at the Plaza. Here we have, set design conveying this difficult relationship that Royal has with the family, right? That Royal is the father that they have, but the kids always kind of wished for a perfect father, that, he was in their lives, but in their lives in a painful sort of way, right? Look at the two illustrations on the back of the wall here. One is Royal being the perfect dad, Richie being the perfect son, winning this trophy. That's the children, using perfection as a way to capture their parents' attention, their parents' love, and Royal being the good dad, but the reality is captured in this other image. The image, of course, illustrated by Wes Anderson's brother, Eric Chase Anderson, who's an author and an artist in his own right. The bad Royal, the bad father, captured in this other illustration where he's shooting Chaz, right? I hope we can see that clearly, okay? So the set design, giving away everything, telling us what can't be expressed, visualizing what is internal, right? This longing for the perfect father, this nostalgia and wish for the past. Let me pause right here.